So here's more or less the final video of the upstairs. I got the sockets in, the electrician come round, so sockets are on, lights are all working, room's finished, although you wouldn't, it's only because I've got nowhere downstairs to put most of the stuff. I'm starting downstairs, but like I say, sockets and everything are on. Got Wi-Fi in here as well. I'm set up with Starlink and it's in the caravan, so that's just a TP-Link extender, because I've got the caravan on 240 which comes from this house into the caravan. All you do is you just get the TP-Link, connect it to your Starlink and you plug it in a socket. It's only giving, because it's going through thick walls and all the rest of it, I'm only getting about 20, 25 MBs, whatever they are, and similar upload and downloads about the same, but it's good enough for you. Where with the Starlink I'm getting, 200, 300 in the caravan where there's no interference. So this is a room. All the other rooms, this was the other room. Again, I've had to glue a couple of sockets on because I made the holes too big, which the Sparky wasn't pleased about. He'd rather done them, but I'm not a Sparky. It was only slightly too big, and because they're only plastic inserts at the back, they're not like metal ones like the UK, they're pretty rubbish here. When you tighten them up, they slip in. So I've got some glue, glued them in, they'll be fine. I'll know better for downstairs. But I've just put some other lights in here, they're on. This is just the rubbish room. Well, when I say rubbish room, it's just for all my bits and bobs till I get downstairs finished. This will be my bedroom. It's all finished in here. I've got to glue that one on, but that's no problem. The rest are on. There's another one around. I've got a bed, but it's not for this room. This is the cheaper bed, so, well, it wasn't that cheap, but it's a cheaper bed, and it's for, well, I've painted it yellow. The other bed for in here will probably come in another week's time. I'm not moving them in, I'm just getting as much furniture up as possible because I want to carry on with the staircase, put the handrail on. But yeah, I've just had to glue that one in because them inserts, round ones, they've got little lugs on and they pull through, so that's no problem. Lights are all working. I might just have a bit of touch-up paint here and there. I did there in that corner where I forgot, but knowing me, it might never get done once I'm moved in. Oh, we've got the little Bo Peep in the field. Oh, the mother there with 2 lambs. Oh. Yeah, lots of sheep. So, I'm glad I finished up here. It took me a few months, about 4 months in total, to finish all this upstairs. But I was doing it on my own, so... And I did completely strip everything down. Waiting for materials was a killer. That was... And lifting them up on my own. 52 sheets of this plasterboard and 14 sheets of OSB. Not easy. So when the beds come and the wardrobes, I'll put the handrail on and finish off the landing and what have you. But in the meantime, I'm going to make a start downstairs. I'm held up down there because I need the floor concreting, and it's not something I particularly want to do. I can do it, but it's with having a knee replacement, getting up and down, it's just not me. So I'm going to see if I can get somebody, because these floors are out of level. I want to concrete them. I'm going to concrete over them. I'm not keeping them. And it's all the downstairs, the living room, around this area, the passageway. The trouble I've got is I've got nowhere to mix. I'm going to have to mix in the house because I can't get I've got nowhere to drop the materials off. I've got a large back garden, but getting the materials into the house, down steps and around a corner with a wheelbarrow, it's not an option. And I've got nowhere to drop it out the front because I'm right on the road there, as you can see, so there's nowhere to drop it there. So it's a problem I'll have to sort out. That's holding me up with doing the downstairs at the moment. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling on for now. Well, I've give up on waiting and trying to find people to come and do the job, concreting job. Not something I wanted to do really, but you know what they say, DIY, do it yourself. So that was the first tester block I did, and it's turned out near enough presentable. So then what I did, I went and done this room. I done this yesterday, so it still hasn't dried completely. You can walk on it, but it's fine. So I've just got the edges to fill, because where you see these, I had a couple of straight edges down so I could go along. It's the only way you can do a room like that, I think. I don't know. If you do it all the time, there's probably a different way to do it, but I'm on my own, so I've done it the easiest way I could for me. So this is the next one then. I'm doing the passageway. Again, I've got straight edges in, so I can level it off, but the levels here are totally different. That's why I've had to level them up. I'm trying to keep everything in line with the kitchen level. It's running down slightly, and the reason for that, from the kitchen, and if I go to the front door, there's about 5 inches difference in height, which would have given me it would have took away a lot of height to the ceiling down there. So I'm putting a door across where that beam goes. So I'm running this one down slightly, and then from about, I would say 3 inches, I can taper it down to maybe 2.5 at the far end into the living room. So I know it's probably not the proper way to do it. Concreters would look at this and say, you don't do it like that. You do it the way that's easiest for you. And like I said, I'm 68-year-old, so I didn't particularly want to do this. I'd have quite happily paid double what anybody wanted if they come and do it, but you can't rely on people. You can't get them to come and do it. So in the end, I've just said to it, and I'll do it myself. It'll take time, but the closest I got was a guy he could have come round, but he said it'll be about 3 weeks, possibly 4. I can have it all done in that time myself, just doing it a little bit every day. I'll do from up to about here today, so it won't be too much. It's only a few bags. Level that, and I'll fill in around the edges there, and then tomorrow I'll just do up to where the door's going, and next week I'll tackle the living room and everything. So I think it's going to take about 4 days to do the living room. I'm going to do it in sections. If we come round here, see, the other thing is I'm mixing it in wheelbarrow because I can't, well, I've nowhere to put the electric mixer, and not, well, I could put it near, but then when I come to do the living room, so it's easier for me to knock a few bags up each day, probably 10-15 bags, and do it that way. What I'll do is I'll put all the levels in, get all the levels round so everything's level, and I'll section it off into 3 sections. I'll do that section there, then I'll come over and do this section, and then I'll join it in the middle. So, you know, if it takes 4 or 5 days, as long as I'm happy with it, it's fine. And this should be all right. This one's not too bad. This one, it's, you know, I'll probably do about 10 bags, get up to about 10 bags, which should take me up to here, and that'll be enough. Getting there slowly but surely. Once the floor's done, you know, the rest of the renovation, I can carry on with the kitchen once I get things done, and the living room, and I can do the passageway just steady way. I don't need anybody to come and give me a hand with anything. Not that you can find people who want to do that, but people don't seem to want money these days, so I'll do it myself. I've resigned myself to doing it myself anyway, but I've just put the kettle on. Just going to make a cup of tea before I make a start on this, and then I'll start on this, and by the time I finish, my tea should be ready. It's in the slow cooker. I've made minced potato, carrots, peas, celery, there's all sorts, onions in there, tin tomatoes, and it'll go through till tomorrow as well, but there we go. Well, it's a few hours later now. I think I put in about 16 bags. It's only 1.5 inches at this end, but at that end it goes to nearly 3.5 inches. So I know why I hate concreting now. I think the last concreting I did, well, it was over 40 years ago. Must have been easily, certainly 35 years ago. Once I complete this downstairs, it'll be the last I ever do in my lifetime, guaranteed. Horrible job. I'd quite happily have paid double what somebody wanted. I'd give them double money, quite happily. But it's getting somebody reliable to come and do it on time and do a decent job. You just can't find anybody in Portugal. So, well, that's not true. You probably can, but I want it doing, you know, within the next week or so. I'm impatient. So I'll do it. I know it's a horrible job, but I think another 7 days and I should have all of the downstairs done, more or less. There's a couple of rooms on the right hand side. They're not ready for doing, but I don't mind that. I'm just talking about getting this passageway and getting the living room area sorted. So I'm hoping 7 days should sort me out. Where the pillar is, where them bottles are, depending how I feel, I might do up to there tomorrow and have the weekend off. Then next week, 5 days or so, I should have the living room done, hopefully. Anyway, I'm going to go have a rest now. I'm absolutely shattered. Well, I did a little bit more concreting yesterday, not much more, just from there to here. That's all the bags I had, so I couldn't do any more. But now it's going to be the living room in here. This will be fun and games, I don't think. I want to try and oh, excuse me. Like I said, the doors go in there, so the levels here are going to be a little bit different from in there. I'm going to try and get the level from around there level right the way through this floor. I'm going to start probably Wednesday next week. I was hoping to start Monday, but I can't get any concrete deliveries. I've had to go down myself, and I can only, well, there was only 7 sacks left, but I can only get 9 sacks comfortably in the car. I need probably for in here and the passageway about 60 sacks, because it will be, when you level through here, it'll be 4 inches in places, which is okay. I'm not too bothered about that. I'm going to do it in 2 stages, across there first, and then I'll come across here and do the middle bit last, so I can tamper it across in the middle. Yeah, I need about 60 sacks, I think, of concrete. I might need more, but certainly 60 sacks, so it's going to take about 6 journeys in the car. So I'll probably start around Wednesday. I was hoping to finish the whole lot by Friday, but that's not going to happen now, so it'll continue into the following week. But as long as it's all done right, I need to sort the levels out, and I can do that on Monday. It's Saturday now. I'm going to have a quiet weekend. It's took a lot out of me doing all that concreting. When I take these rails up, which I use to guide, I've got a bit of concrete to fill in just from along there and along the side, and all this is complete. That's done in there, happy with that, and I've done the edges. The stairs done. This part of the passageway, I've just got to fill in down the edges, both sides, and across there. And that leaves up to that first piece of timber there, because there will be a door going across there. So it's all in all this area. So I'll get the levels, make sure I'm happy with everything, and then concrete it. I'll have to get some steel bars as well, or some mesh to put in on this side, because it's a bigger slab in there, because it's only 3 foot wide, or 3.5 foot or whatever. Don't need anything in there, it's not going nowhere, but I'll definitely put it in this side. So that's the plan for next week. Something to look forward to. Not, but once it's done, I'll be happy. I would have preferred to get somebody to come and do this for me, but as I mentioned before, getting somebody to do it, it would have been weeks and weeks and weeks, even could have been a month or 2, but I'll do it myself. One good thing about doing it myself, when I came in October, I was 17 stone 6. I'm now 13 stone 5, I've lost 3 stone doing this renovation, which is a really good thing. If it continues like that, I'll disappear, won't I? Anyway, I'm not going to do any more today. I've put the kettle on, and well, I haven't got a kettle. I'm saying put the kettle on. I haven't put the kettle on. I'm boiling a pan of water. I should buy a kettle. All the electric's on it. I don't know why I don't. I'm just so lazy, and I've just got used to doing it in the pan. So I've made the tea anyway. I'm going to go and finish drinking that. There's not much more to say about this till I get the levels sorted. And I'm happy with them. That's the main thing. Then it's doing the concreting. Not looking forward to that, but once it's done, I'll be happy. So here's the first concrete pad I've done in the living room. I did miscalculate how many bags I would need, but not to worry. I can always buy more bags. That's no problem whatsoever. I thought the slab was going to be 3 to 4 inches deep, but it turned out in places it's 6 inches, 5 to 6 inches deep, so I need a lot more. Took me most of the day to do it. I've been mixing in a wheelbarrow by hand, so always takes a lot longer. That's the middle part. I'll do that last. I'll do this part tomorrow. So I've set the levels up. It's just a case of putting something along here like I've done now. I'll use that. I'll take that off tomorrow and I'll put that along there to stop the concrete coming out. So what I've been doing, I've got a load of tiles because, as you can see there, it's a lot deeper. I put the first layer of concrete in. Now I put the mesh. Sorry, first layer of concrete. I bang some of these tiles in to give it more ballast. It doesn't matter, you can shove anything in here. But I don't want to go and buy sand and gravel and all the rest when I've got plenty of materials on site I can use. Because the good tiles, they take up quite a bit of the flooring. So with the concrete in the tiles, then I put the mesh and then I concrete on top of that. So it does reduce how many bags I need. I still need a lot. I thought I might have used about 25 in there. I ended up using 36, just purely because it's a lot deeper. Probably use about 30 in this one. It's a little bit not as quite as wide as this one, so probably 30 bags in there. I've got about 25 here, so I'll nip down to Max Mats tomorrow and pick up another 10 just to make sure. And then when I come to this bit, it's a bit wider, this one. I'll probably do this in 2 halves. I'm not going to do it all. It did take all day. Well, I started at 10 o'clock and it was 3 o'clock when I finished that. Purely mixing up. I mean, I wasn't at it all the time. I was stopping and taking breaks. But it's back breaking. Horrible job. This one will be the same tomorrow. I'll probably start this one when I get back from Mats about 11 o'clock. I thought I made a video recording earlier on of me when that side was in the same as the other side, when I just had the sheeting down and the levels. Obviously I haven't, so. But then, once I've done all this area, I've still got to match it up with a passageway here, which this isn't as deep, so this is quite easy to do. I'll still do it in 2 sections just because I can't jump 10 feet. Not anymore anyway. So I'll do this in 2 sections and put a board across, then I can step on the board. It is dropping a little bit along there, it's sinking, but that's no problem because when I take the guides off and concrete over, you won't notice that. And it'll be getting covered anyway. Hopefully I've got all my levels right. I don't think it'll be too far out. But any bumps, any bubbles, anything like that, I'll just get a few bags of self-leveling compound and that'll cure that, no problem. It's just the thought of still having all this to do. I'll never do this again. Hopefully not anyway. So I'm going to go and have something to eat now.